Hey, I am excited. It's Friday. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. But I don't know if you ever feel like this, but do you feel like, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever set New Year's resolutions? So the end of the year is coming, like it's coming really fast. You probably set some goals for 2021. Raise your hand if you did. I did. Now, how close are you to achieving those goals? Or are you like many of us? We say we're going to work out, we're going to, spend more time with our family, we're going to get to a certain level in our business or our job. And, we have good intentions, January. By the time February rolls around, we have pretty much forgotten those goals. Or we've decided that it's just not possible, or we've just taken no action on it. So it's not that we don't want those goals, it's just we haven't taken any action. So if we don't take any actions, they're not going to happen, right? So what is it that we can do to actually start to see some of our goals happen? What is it that separates someone like Tim Grover, that separates someone like Tony Robbins, separates someone like Michael Jordan from the people that achieve goals and the people that don't? I'm going to share with you a couple tips that I learned that really break it down for you. But you know what? Too many people get stuck. This is a quote I wrote down. Too many people get stuck in an almost life. So they were almost great. They almost had a happy life. They almost did the things they wanted to. They almost had the relationship they wanted. They almost had the career they wanted. And then what happens is most people get scared or they get comfortable, right? And maybe they get both. And quite often we settle. So we settle for a life of just almost good enough because we never really took the shot. We never really took the chance. We never really gave it our all to get us to where we wanted to go. So if you want to end that today, get the momentum back for yourself. These are some things that I learned to do that because many of us are living that life. Many of us want to change things. We just don't know how. And so we set all these goals and we set all these intentions. And then, it's like working out. Maybe you do it for a couple days and then you don't. Maybe you do it for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and then you don't, right? But sooner or later, you're back to your old habits. So, one of the things that I've learned from Tony Robbins through his coaching is setting SMART goals. So you might have heard that before. Setting SMART goals. There's a process to do that. And if you want me to actually send you a goal worksheet that I have that helps you figure out what is a SMART goal, what are the goals that you have, and to convert them into SMART goals, I'm happy to share that with you. Just send me a message and I'll send you that worksheet. But still, a lot of times what happens is we write all these goals down, and even if we make them SMART, and even if we make them attainable, and we set timelines to them, and we do all this stuff, we still don't achieve them. And so what is the difference between writing a bunch of goals down and actually achieving them? So one of the things that I learned is that our brain can't process that many things. Statistically, actually, you can have 1 to 3 goals maximum. If you have more than that, you're actually subconsciously telling yourself that you can't do it because your brain says, oh my God, there's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it freaks out and then it just stops. It puts the brakes on. So actually, yes, write out all those things, right? Those are logs on your fire, right? When you're building a fire, you need lots and lots of twigs to get that big log burning, right? At least that's what I'm told, because I'm not a big fire starter. I'm not a big camper, but I've seen a few fires get built before. Okay, so I think this is how you do it, right? You have to have kindling on the fire. You have to put like moss and little twigs, and then you build it up, right? So that's what your little goals are doing. That's what your list of 100 goals is doing, is you're building up a bunch of kindling to get that big log going. But if you focus on achieving all of those things, it's too much for your brain and you're going to hit a roadblock. So what you need to do is actually write them all down. Yes. Know what they are. Yes. I actually have a journal that I write stuff in. It's a goal, like a book that says goals on it. It's really cool. It has a little place for a picture and then a goal, and you could put a whole bunch in there. I got it from Staples, so if there's a Staples in your area, you might be able to get it still. And it's really cool to look back over time and say, hey, I did that. Hey, I did that. Because it's like in your subconscious and you kind of forget about it. And then you're like, whoa, I did that. Like one of my goals always growing up was I wanted to get married in a gazebo. So when me and my husband were getting married, we decided on a destination wedding. We went to Jamaica. And so I didn't know what the options were going to be when we got to the hotel. But funny enough, when we got there, one of the location options was a gazebo beside the beach. It was perfect. It was like really cool because that was something that ever since I was a little girl, I always said I wanted to get married in a gazebo. But when we went to plan our wedding, it wasn't actually something that was in my consciousness, but it still happened. So that's pretty cool. But take all those goals and then I want you to think about what are 1 to 3 things that if you achieve those, the other goals are very likely to have happened or been possible. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is if your goal is to live in a house with a housekeeper and you want 10,000 square feet and you want a bowling alley in your house, you want all those things. Maybe your goal is not all of those things, but maybe your goal is an income level that would allow you to have a house like that, right? Maybe your goal is to live by the beach and then you want to have a certain car and you want to be able to donate a certain amount to charity. So what is a bigger goal that if you achieve that, all the other things would also be possible, right? Like maybe you want to go on vacation every year. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to be happy if I can just go to the grocery store and put whatever I want in my cart and I don't have to worry about how much it costs, right? So that's a goal. But if you had a goal of saying, I achieved debt-free status, I achieved this level of income, and I achieved, something else that means, hey, if you're debt-free and you're earning $200,000 a year, do you think you'd be able to also go to the grocery store and put whatever you want in the cart and not worry about it? Probably, right? So what are those bigger goals that are on your list that if you achieved those, all the other things would also be possible or have happened? And then just concentrate on achieving those goals, because that's going to be a way for your brain to actually think about the possibility of it happening versus thinking, holy crow, this is never going to happen. This is too much. I'm just shutting down. So I hope that helped. Again, if you want to learn more about SMART goals, which is a proven method to help you identify what is the difference between a goal and a dream, really, I have a worksheet that I can send you for free, and I just find it really helpful. I was given it in one of the Tony Robbins workshops of how to just break down a goal and make sure that it meets all those SMART definitions. So happy to send that to you. But if you got some value from this, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear what some of your goals are. Let's dream a little together. So put that in the comment box, send me a message. I'd love to hear about it. But I hope you are going to have a wonderful day, and I hope you are going to take the next step closer to your goals. Have a wonderful weekend.